Jaya Jaya.
Τόσα βράδια που για σένα ξενυχτούσα, πες μου πού. Γύρναγες τις νύχτες που ένα χάδι σου ζητούσα, πες μου πού. Αυτό που έψαχνες μάλλον δεν το βρήκες. Είδες την πόρτα μου ανοιχτή και μπήκες. Τώρα το θυμήθηκες, τώρα ξαφνικά, ότι υπάρχω κι ότι ζω κάπου εδώ κοντά. Τώρα το θυμήθηκες, τώρα ξαφνικά, όμως άλλαξα κι εγώ, τώρα είναι αργά. Που ήσουν τόσες μέρες που κρυβόσουν από μένα, πες μου πού. Ξόδευες τις νύχτες που εγώ κράταγα για σένα, πες μου πού. Αυτό που έψαχνες μάλλον δεν το βρήκες. Είδες την πόρτα μου ανοιχτή και μπήκες. Τώρα το θυμήθηκες, τώρα ξαφνικά, ότι υπάρχω κι ότι ζω κάπου εδώ κοντά. Τώρα το θυμήθηκες, τώρα ξαφνικά, όμως άλλαξα κι εγώ, τώρα είναι αργά.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Rabbi Joshua Davidson, the Senior Rabbi of Temple Emmanuel. With me is Dr. Gadi Levy, the Executive Director of our Strikers Center. We welcome all of you. No doubt as some of you entered tonight, you passed by a group of individuals protesting what we're doing tonight and who we're doing it with. I would want to be clear about this. We as an institution don't support the BDS movement. It is out of our love for the state of Israel and the people of Israel that we believe social justice and coexistence are the only paths toward a peaceful future. And so we are very proud of what we're doing tonight and who we're doing it with, the New Israel Fund and Seeds of Peace.
Thank you, Rabbi. As Rabbi Davidson just said, tonight is not only about music, but it's really about our core values for social justice and for peace. And thank you for being with us. I want to take this opportunity because there's so many of you to tell you a few of the upcoming events, because why not? Monday night, St. Luke Orchestra is performing a free concert in our sanctuary if you want to join us on Monday night. Tuesday night, we have a program called 10 Commandments, 10 Rabbis, 10 Cheesecakes. And it's... I don't know why everybody laughs when I say it. It wasn't meant as a joke, you know? 10 flavors are cheesecake. That is on Tuesday night. Everything you wanted to know about Shavuot and didn't know what you ask, who to ask. In June, Colin Powell will be with us. George Stephanopoulos have a conversation with Dan Abrams about his new book about Abe Lincoln. And also we have the happiness guru. I forgot his name, 1 second. Tal, oh, you know him? Okay, Tal Ben Shachar. So apparently he can make us all very happy. I look forward to being there. I hope you will join us. Next fall, we have 2 great programs I want to tell you very quickly about. One of them, October 16, Vice President Cheney and Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, I know, will share the stage at the same time for the first time they have ever done so. Interesting. November 8th, George W. Bush and Bill Clinton will be here together on the stage. Historic evening. Tickets go on sale June 6th. Temple members June 1st. Please join us. But tonight, let's enjoy the music. We would like to thank, a big thank you to our partners tonight, the New Israel Fund and Seeds of Peace. And I would like their representative to join us right now for a quick word. So please welcome Danielle and Libby. And thank you for being with us.
Hello. I'm Daniel Moses, Director of Educative Programs with Seeds of Peace. And on behalf of Seeds of Peace, I would like to welcome you to this very special night. I'm very excited to be here with family, with friends, and potential friends for what I promise you will be a very wonderful night, a very wonderful evening. Seeds of Peace was established in 1993 during the euphoria of the Oslo Accords. Our first group of Seeds were there at the White House lawn with Clinton and Rabin and Arafat and Perez. For years, we hung their pictures on our office walls. But as I know many of you know tonight, the political leaders, the expectations have not been what they were in the 90s. The political leaders have failed. And in the next few days, we're likely to have more conflict in Jerusalem. Peace and justice is, to put it mildly, not close to us. It's far, far away. And in this context, we have to wonder, where do we look for common humanity, for respect, for human dignity, for hope, for courage? It's demoralizing, it's depressing. I can say that we can look to the artists. I have spent 12 years in Jerusalem and across the region. I can tell you many stories. I wish I could. I wish I could throw out this paper and just tell you these stories, but I'm keeping to the script as much as I can. I could tell you stories of courageous individuals, human beings who are working actively for a more humane, more just, more peaceful future, even during these very, very difficult times. These are artists, visual artists, dancers, actors, directors, writers, poets, and filmmakers. And last but not least, musicians. So you have to ask, why the arts? Why music? It's a good question. Why? Because imagination grows stronger with exercise. Through the arts, we are able to resist the status quo and imagine what's beyond the status quo, beyond what exists now. Through the arts, we can multiply and magnify our perspectives. We can enlarge our scope of empathy, our scope of understanding, our depth of understanding. We can gain a sense of possibility. Musicians, as we all know, if you like music, and if you're here, you probably do, can move audiences. They can make something dormant come alive. They can create a sense of solidarity. While it's true that Peter, Paul, and Mary, singing at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial more than 50 years ago, did not seal the victory of the American Civil Rights Movement, it's also true that music was at the core of that movement, just like it's at the core of any movement where people in solidarity stick their necks out to narrow the gap between their values and the current reality that exists. I'm very thrilled that Peter Yarrow is here. We all are. For me, I remember him as a kid. I remember that voice when I hear him speaking. It's like my childhood comes back to me. And he embodies the interplay of music and social transformation. Over the years, over the last couple of years, and growing, Seeds of Peace has brought together wonderful artists from various sides of the conflict, artists who transcend boundaries. I'm very thrilled that you're going to see some of them, not all of them, but some of them on stage tonight. And though these initiatives are small in the general scope of what's happening, they're growing in strength. I want to thank, there are many people to thank, but I want to specifically thank Steve Gruber and his wife Liz. Steve is the chairman of Seeds of Peace, chairman of the board, for supporting the programs that focus on music. I want to thank Mira Awad, a central figure in this growing community, and the creative director of this evening. I want to thank all of the people who you'll see on stage and also those who are not on stage this evening. To the artists, Ami, Aaron, Micah, Saz, Sun, and Ashraf, thank you. You don't know them yet, but you will know them soon. I thank David Broza and Achinom Nini for being here. I want to thank, and I think she's here, Nora Orphanides, another member of our board who's always supporting the arts. I think she's here. Thank you, Mrs. O. And thank you to our partner, the New Israel Fund. What we're trying to do is beyond any one organization. And thank you also to the Stryker Center for hosting us. It's a beautiful space. My hope is that you get a taste tonight, and I can't wait to sit on a seat right now and just relax and enjoy the music, that you get a taste tonight of how in times of turbulence and uncertainty, music has the potential to encourage empathy and renewed hope. If you like what you experienced this evening, please learn more about the people on stage. Think about ways to support what's happening here. Spread the word. Reach out to us. There are many ways to be involved. And enjoy the show. Libby.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm Libby Lankinsky. I'm a vice president at the New Israel Fund, and I'm thrilled to be with you all here tonight. I can still remember the first, second, and third times that I heard David Broza sing Yehiyeh Tov. I was a teenager. It was the 1990s. I was at Masada at sunrise. I was sitting on the Banyas River in the evening. I was on the soccer field of Camp Shomria. I can remember also the surge of emotions I felt when I tuned into the Eurovision music competition in 2008, and I saw Mira Awad, a Palestinian Israeli, and Achinoam Nini, a Jewish Israeli, representing Israel together. I think the most important moment of this whole last year was when Palestinian rapper Tamer Nafar took the stage at the Israeli Oscars and was joined by Mizrahi singer Yossi Tabari performing a Mahmoud Darwish poem, Their Fists in the Air, in solidarity as artists. Their music and the music we're going to hear tonight is the soundtrack that keeps us moving, that keeps pushing us forward, breaking boundaries and taboos. At the New Israel Fund, we celebrate those moments of beautiful artistic defiance. NIF is a proud partnership between American Jews and people all around the world with Israelis of all kinds, Arabs and Jews, Ashkenazi and Mizrahi, religious and secular, men and women, all working for democracy, social justice, and equality. And if you, like me, are the kind of person who cares about those values, these are tough days. Our hearts are stretched so thin it's hard to bear. So showing up here tonight takes on a new meaning because peace is not a given, because democracy is not a given, because equality is not a given. And being here together to share in this experience and to hear an incredible group of artists means something. We too are raising our voices for the Israel, the Palestine, the America, and the world we want, especially when we feel farther away from that vision. Especially then, especially now, we come here to plant another seed of peace, to think of others, to sing together, Yihye Tov, Bukra, Shalom Shalom, Jerusalem. I'm so thrilled to see so many New Israel Fund supporters and leaders here. Our board members, the amazing Carol Zabar and Janine Fryer, are here. And I'm especially thrilled to welcome our board member Achinoam Nini and her musical partner Gili Dor to New York City. They have been like a lightning rod for the peace movement around the world. I'm thrilled to see our international council members, David Broza and Mira Awad, here. My rabbi, Amichai Lau-Levi, says that their songs were our prayers before we had any of our own. And it has been so much fun partnering with Seeds of Peace on this event and to stand alongside you while you celebrate your 25 years of incredible work. And it's an honor to be here at Temple Emmanuel and the Stryker Center in this space, planting this seed here together for a better future for Israelis, Palestinians, and all those in the region and the world. You might say Seeds of Peace is working towards an Israel at peace with its neighbors, and NIF working towards an Israel at peace with itself. And that is a great match. Together, we all know that the change we want to see will come from the corridors of power. It will also come from the streets and the synagogues, mosques, and churches. But it will also, and importantly, come from the nightclubs, the mics and guitars and ouds and the stages like this one. So enjoy the soundtrack of our progress and our hope, and enjoy the show.
ماشي على أوتار مشدودين إيدي عن جناب ممدودين فلا يطمن ولا شبكة معلقة بين أرض السماء ريح مجنون خطوة ورا خطوة بعدنا على محبة وجدود بس أي خلل صغير بطير أنا دايما كنت دايما على الآخر على الطرف وأنت دايما كنت يمكن خايف علي إنه ينعرف إني أنا بهلوان بلا أي شبكة أمان ولا ضمان بهلوان وأي إشي بصير بطير أي إشي بصير بطير بلا أي ضمان ولا شبكة أمان بهلوان بلا أي ضمان ولا شبكة.
If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Good evening and welcome. We're very excited to be here tonight. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Mira Awad, a Palestinian Israeli singer, songwriter, an artivist, and your host for this magical evening. Now, on the background of the worrying news that we're hearing from back home, we want to send good energies. We want to send the vibe of music. So the musicians that will perform here tonight come from different backgrounds. We are Israeli, Palestinian, American, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, atheist, agnostics, men and women. Some young and some younger. Some you know really, really well and are gonna join us later, like my dear friend Noah and Gildor. Yes, 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 yes. Like David Broza. And like New York's very own Peter Yarrow. But some of us you will meet for the first time tonight. However, regardless of the differences, we all have one thing in common. We use our art to create dialogue. With music, we bypass the brain where stereotypes and preconceptions are formed, and we shoot straight to the heart where compassion lies. We open windows between communities and human beings. Politicians can build all the walls they want. We transcend them with song. Well, I got a hammer
and I got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land.
It's the hammer of justice. It's the bell of freedom. It's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Thank you. Like Daniel told you before, starting in March 2016, Seeds of Peace has focused on a musical initiative called the Mic and Pen. As part of this initiative, last summer, Seeds of Peace brought together 40 artists, Israeli, Palestinian, American, and European, from different disciplines, for 5 days of dialogue and creativity in the desert. We jammed there. We wrote songs, we created collaborations, as you see. We connected as human beings. But most of all, we reinforced the knowledge that it is imperative that we accept each other's narratives, no matter how different they are from our own. Narratives that I hope we will share with you tonight. Now, speaking of narratives, I guess I'm starting, right? So, when people have a difficulty understanding how come I call myself a Palestinian and an Israeli at the same time, I tell them that my father and I were born in the same exact geographical spot, a Palestinian village in the north of Israel, in the Galilee. But when my father was born in 1936, it was Palestine. When I was born in 75, now you know how old I am, it was Israel. I carry an Israeli ID card, but a Palestinian identity. I speak perfect Hebrew, but sing Arabic melismas. My father went through Nakba, the Palestinian exodus caused by the establishment of Israel. I went through Eurovision Song Contest representing Israel. This duality felt like a big conflict for a long time, and as a public figure, I was demanded to choose a side. Until I figured that I shouldn't be in conflict, because my identity is bigger than being Israeli or Palestinian. And that all these identities are branches of the same tree, which is the human race. Now, you don't need to be a farmer or a village girl to know that you cannot water a tree from its branches, yet I look at humanity today and I see many, many people who try to do just that. And I think to myself, can't they see that they're killing the tree? You see, it's not relentless optimism that drives me to do what I do, nor undying hope, but plain common sense. Tend to the tree, and all the branches, including yours, will grow and flourish. Thank you. I'm gonna sing a song called Father, Yaba. بتقول احكيلن قصتنا احنا اللي بعدنا صامدين، احنا اللي ما غلبتنا حروب وما فرفطتنا السنين، احنا اللي بعدنا من جول زيتون زرعوا جد اللي مات، احنا اللي باقيين على طول وقت ما تبددت قيادات، احنا اللي صوت الجبل فينا ورعشة غصون الكينا، احنا القمح احنا الغربال احنا المنارة على المينا. يابا 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 بشعر زي شجرة كبيرة عتيقة صار لها بهالأرض دهور وجذورها غميقة، لكن ما إلها وسع وحياتها محشورة، ومسيج السماء فوقيها وغصونها مكسورة، يا باردنا تحت جرينا بس وطن ما في، ساكنين بيوت من حجر بس حاسين بمعنى في. يابا 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 أنا تعباني يابا بس مش يأساني يابا يابا لا لا لا. صوت الجبل فيه ورعشة غصون الكينا، أنا القمح أنا الغربال أنا المنارة على المينا. Thank you.
My name is Ami Yaris. I'm a musician activist, a part of the Heartbeat community of Israeli and Palestinian musicians. I'm also the executive director of an organization called Build a Bridge International. I was raised in Philadelphia, but spent a number of years living in a land that we call holy. And music was my vessel. It took my body far, but it took my mind even further. It taught me to de-other the other, to demystify the myths that surrounded my upbringing, to challenge the messages in history that were narrow, and it widened my horizons. The Palestinians that I worked with became my brothers and sisters. Though I can never truly understand the struggles that they endure on a regular basis, I am there as a supportive member of that. I'm supportive of the Israelis that come together to try to bring this piece together. And all of this is my life's mission now, to use the arts, to use music as a means to hold society together. You know, people look at us as artists and they think of us as entertainers. Well, we're more than that. We're good social policy. We're insurance for society. I want to help make you feel. I want to feel with you. And music and the arts is the way to do that. Oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem, oh, Jerusalem. Peace unto you, peace unto who, many faces staring at you, wondering what to do. Sitting in for peace stands the edge of a sword. Too many prophets, poets, and pilgrims have died at your doors, and promises of glory from 1,000 nights of mourning just adds more fire to the story. And the smoke's a little thicker with the friction and ways we talk about you, oh Jerusalem. Oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem. Well, the roots have grown deep and the limbs have grown strong, but these branches have been broken, leaves on the fall. Well, an eye for an eye, until you go blind, or a tooth for a tooth, until you can't chew. And if that's not enough, oh, there's always one who loses. Time is lost and start to offer a better way to lose. Cause this do unto others as you do unto yourself. Lost and soul, we let this stand on all time ago. Oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem, oh Jerusalem. take down every connection that you made. Still you talk about United, but you thought this leader about it. You gotta wear down those walls on the inside and out. And when everyone from Eden finally gets a share in all these people here in mind, then we'll talk about United now. So show me the God that lets no more kiss fall of Jerusalem. Come on, sing with us tonight. Oh, Jerusalem. 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 Oh, Jerusalem.
Hi, my name is Arnon, and I make music with the name Sun Taylor. I live in Jaffa, which is, you probably know, just south of Tel Aviv. And at first, walking down the street there felt uncomfortable for me. I sense hostility in the eyes of my neighbors. Sometimes I'd get the feeling that I wasn't welcome there. Now, I came to Jaffa after living in London for many years, and I never got that feeling there. And here I am in my own country, feeling like an unwelcome stranger. The conflict between Israel and Palestine is alive in the streets of Jaffa, but these streets also hold a possible solution, because our biggest problem is that we're separated, and we see each other almost only through stereotypes projected by the media, by politicians, by parents and teachers. Now, I don't know the language of politics, but I do know the language of music. And I know that it can help us understand each other better. So I'm trying to reach out and give kids in Israel and Palestine a chance to get to know each other using music, in the hopes that for the next generation, when they pass each other on the street, they will think of a song, not an enemy. Thank you. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. Who's at your window, my dear? At your window laughing. Who is a child of a storm? Let him in and he'll never go home. Who's at your window, my dear? At your window laughing. Who is a child of a storm? Let him in and he'll never go home. Let him in and he'll never go home. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it anymore. Just go. Better just go. The engine's running, eyes red and burning from the cold. Then slow, talking, then slow. All prisoners stand off to one side, their heads bound, covered eyes. Tally the count, wait for it now. Smoke stars, the line spars. Who's at your window, my dear? At your window laughing. Who is a child of the storm? Let him in and he'll never go home. Who's at your window, my dear? At your window laughing. Who is a child of the storm? Let him in and he'll never go home. Lights in the sky,
Knives on the ground, they're coming out to score. Shouting to score. Give us a sign. Give us a sign. Who's asking for it? So long. They're holding us back. So long. 1 foot at a time. All together. Don't let them break it up. Break us some. Break up. We can survive as a star shine now. So at your window, my dear, at your window, laughing home. It's a child of the storm. Let him in and you'll never go home. Who's at your window, my dear? At your window, laughing home. It's a child of the storm. Let him in and you'll never go home. Let him in and you'll never go home. You'll never go home.
That was lovely. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Micah Hendler, and I believe that everyone has the right to a voice. Oh, thank you. Including this beautiful audience. Amazing, thank you. I've always felt at home in communities of singing, communities where people are singing, and when I went to Seeds of Peace in high school, I saw that singing could even create community across conflict, and that was really amazing for me. It really blew my mind, along with the dialogue process, as I had grown up with a very one-sided education about the Middle East in general and about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in particular. And dialogue really opened my mind to totally new perspectives, and so I wanted to stay involved with that and continue to engage with that and help people learn from one another. Fast forward to when I was graduating from college, I decided to move to Jerusalem and start the YMCA Jerusalem Youth Chorus, which is a chorus and a dialogue program for teens from East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem to sing together, to learn from one another. Through the co-creation of music and the sharing of stories, we empower our singers to become leaders in their own communities and inspire singers and listeners around the world to work for peace. And so I wanted to, the chorus is obviously not here tonight, but I wanted to recreate some of that chorus magic because I believe that everyone should have access to that kind of transformative experience of raising their voice in harmony with others. So right now, we're all going to sing together. Woo. Yes, you can do it. So, can I get some notes? Okay, so repeat after me. Raise your voice.
Raise your voice.
Walk with me.
Walk with me.
Excellent. So here, it goes like this. Raise your voice. Walk with me. Sing that. Raise your voice. Walk with me again. Raise your voice. Walk with me. That's beautiful. Raise your voice. Walk with me. Excellent. You are so beautiful. That is part 1 of 3. Language 1 of 3. Okay? So, that is going to belong to this third of the audience, okay? Raise your voice, walk with me. Cool? Great. Now, this third of the audience, you are going to be singing in Hebrew, okay? Now, the words are, Harimi et kolech,
Harimi et kolech,
boi iti.
boi iti.
Let's do that again. Harimi et kolech,
Harimi et kolech,
boi iti.
boi iti.
Okay? So here's how it goes. Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech, boi iti.
Et kolech, boi iti.
Excellent. Great. You are phenomenal. Okay, part 3, you're singing in Arabic. Oh. Here you go. So the words are Irfa sotak,
Irfa sotak,
imshi ma'i.
imshi mai.
Yes. Yes. Amazing. Say that again. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Beautiful. So that part goes like this. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Yeah. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. One more time. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Beautiful. Okay? That's the whole chant. So now we're going to start. We're going to layer the parts, and then we'll see what happens. So, do you remember your part? No. Okay, that's fine, because hopefully I do. All right, it goes like this. Raise your voice, walk with me, sing that. Raise your voice, walk with me, keep it going. Raise your voice, walk with me, keep it up.
Raise your voice.
All right, Hebrew.
Walk with me.
And Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech, boi iti. Harimi et kolech. Arabic. Boi iti. Ready?
Harimi
Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Yeah. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Yeah. Irfa sotak. 1, 2, 3, 4. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Irfa sotak, imshi ma'i. Raise your voice, imshi ma'i. Raise your voice, imshi ma'i. Yeah, beautiful. Give yourselves a round of applause. Welcome to the chorus. Congratulations.
That's the dessert truck backing up. Don't go away. You can't have more than one. Oh, it's gone, sorry. So how's everybody doing? Y'all from around here? I'm not. I'm supposed to read you my monologue afterwards, but we might have to be here all night. In which case, I hope you brought, like, dinner. It's okay, this is the safest place in Manhattan. I promise. There we go, enjoy.
اصحى يا نايم وحيد الدايم اصحى يا نعسان وحيد الرحمن اصحى يا نايم وحيد الدايم اصحى يا نعسان وحيد الرحمن اصحى يا نايم.
I feel that I've found a home in which I can form initiatives or a movement even to plan forwards. I want to build it tomorrow. I want us to remember the yesterday in order to learn from it, but let's build something for tomorrow together.
The fact that now there are more artists who are coming into this environment and building a community of artists, I think that's a really great thing.
I came here to make music, to make new contacts, to get new ideas about maybe projects I want to do, and just being as an artist, period. It's like just brainstorming of art and music.
To me, it's the salvation of the world. It's the hope of the world. So I hope that this is the first of many other events like this.
It's definitely brought a lot of us outside of our comfort zones. It's all about dialogue. It's all about creating dialogue. And it's also our job as artists to create dialogue. And I didn't think about it like that before.
Good evening, my name is Aaron Schneer. I'm a musician. I'm an old friend of Seeds of Peace and the founder of Heartbeat, the Israeli music program for Israeli and Palestinian youth. And the music's so good, but I can't concentrate.
I got you, man.
Yeah. I grew up in Washington, D.C. in a family of artists and musicians and activists, and from a very young age wanted to find a way to use music to dismantle hatred in the world. In 2005, I joined the staff at Seeds of Peace as a music counselor, and over the next bunch of years had an amazing opportunity, an incredible ground to experiment and to discover music's power. And in 2007, I formed an ensemble infused with dialogue of Israeli and Palestinian youth musicians from East and West Jerusalem. And that organization, that project grew into an organization called Heartbeat. Thanks. Thank you. And today, 10 years later, we've brought together over 140 youth musicians from the two sides in multiple cities across Israel and Palestine. They've come together to create breathtaking original music and build critical understanding and to share that understanding with over 15,000 people around the world, and really to emerge as allies to co-resist the status quo. And my hope is really that we together with all of you can amplify these voices of empathy, of equality, of critical thought, far above those voices of racism and violence and oppression. Thank you.
My name is Ashraf Ghandour. I come from Haifa. I'm a Palestinian, and I work as the alumni director at Seeds of Peace. I was the only Palestinian in a Jewish school. I was raised the only Palestinian going to a Jewish school. I was raised to love everyone for who they are, yet was never loved for who I am. I was told to overlook injustice, but was raised to fight for justice. I was told I had no history, but fought to uncover my heritage. I am Palestinian, and I work to free all Palestinians. I am human, fighting for humanity.
ما بندم على شي ما بندم على شي ما بندم على شي سنين اللي مرقت بس ما ضاعت مني بعدها بتنبض في خلايا جسمي بعدها بتنفض خبايا روحي وندوني بحروف رسمها الزمن على وجهي ما بندم على أي شي وقصة اللي أنا بعدها ماشي كل نظرة منك بتجيبني وبتودي كل لمسة تبقى واشم على خدي وكل كلمة بتحكيها فراشي جوا تتهدي بتقولي كيف ما تعرفنا يومتها لو اتعرفنا يومتها مين بيعرف شو كان بصير هيا أنا هون اليوم ما إلنا بندم على شي ما بندم ما بندم ما بندم على شي ما بندم ما بندم 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 على شي ما بندم 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 على شي ما بندم على شي ما بندم ما بندم ما بندم على شي
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام حبيبي.
You can call me Samih Nasr Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Rabi' Zakut. But for tonight, call me Saz. I'm a Palestinian young man with big dreams. Or in my words, I want to live the Palestinian dream. And in my dream, there's no walls, there's no hate, there's no death. And tonight, we want to celebrate love, life, and hope. And this mic is my weapon. And my words are my bullets. Habibi. Hit it! I shot for a word, I got the mark. You fight with the guns, I fought with the run. Words and ceremonies expose hypocrisies. In no state, democracies and same policies. You both fight with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mic is my weapon. One of the flavor. My weapon. Never say never. Weapon. You take to the top. My mic is my weapon. Never gonna stop. My mic is my weapon. One of the flavor. My mic is my weapon. Never say never. My mic is my weapon. You take to the top. My mic is my weapon. I ain't a bomb, but I gotta blow your mind. Stop with the game, just step aside. Let the truth come out, stop the light. Kill the camera, ya haram. Allah it is it, change souls. With drums system, don't come too close, I cut shit. Without sword, my word will be straight. Proud will be the one who leads the head. Cause I wanna show the world what is honest. Wanna show the world what I'm into me. You something in hip-hop history. Keep on marching, no one's gonna stop me. Since I was born, I was broke. I'm not gonna smash the door. You're gonna ask for more and more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I give my weapon. One of the flavor. I give my weapon. Never say never. I give my weapon. Easy to the top. I'm out with my weapon. Never gonna stop. One of the flavor. I give my weapon. Never say never. I give my weapon. Easy to the top. My mic is my weapon. Never gonna stop. 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 Usher up. Stay never. Reach it to the top. My heart is no open. Never gonna stop. One of the flavor.
Please don't call the cops, all right?
This next song was created actually at the retreat, the retreat we told you about, by Saz and Son. Maybe you want to tell us how it came about?
Yeah. So me and Saz, we come from very different worlds, don't we?
Yep.
Both musically and culturally.
Geographically.
Not so much.
A little bit.
20 kilometers.
Now children.
But something happened to us in that retreat. Something happened and something clicked and this song was born. And me and you, we don't agree on everything.
Nope. Nope.
But we love each other.
Yes, because in music, there's no religion, color, or anything. We're just musicians, period.
And there are some truths that we feel the same about. And one of these truths is that we all need to wake up, both individually and collectively.
Yes.
We need to open our eyes and see the other and emphasize. And through that openness, maybe love and compassion can come in and maybe change as well. And this song is about that. It's called Wake Up Now.
اصحى يا نايم. اصحى يا نايم وحد الدم. اصحى يا ناسان وحد الرحمن. اصحى يا نايم. اصحى يا نايم وحد الدم. وحد الدم. اصحى يا ناسان. اصحى يا ناسان وحد الرحمن. وحد الرحمن. اصحى يا نايم. وحد الدم.
תשנה מצב, גם שכאן לא קר, אל תפחד קרב, תתעורר עכשיו, תשנה מצב, גם שכאן לא קר, אל תפחד קרב, תתעורר עכשיו. תתעורר עכשיו.
Everybody on stage. Mr. Son Taylor, also the musical producer of this evening. Mr. Ami Yaris. This here, Samih Saz Daqut. Michael Handler. Mr. Aaron Schnee. Aaron Schnee. And there, the Ashraf, the Ghandour.
And last but certainly not least, the one and only Irawan.
When something bad happens around here, people go back to their bunkers and then they relate only to their own and they can't see the other. And for me, in bad times especially, I want to stay out. I don't want to go in the bunker. People are afraid of what they don't know. I want to make music that opens a window through which they can meet the other.
Something tells me we will pull through. Something tells me we will be alright. بكرة يوم جديد وهالطريق توصل لبعيد.
Yep, that's me. I guess, with a new haircut. So we're gonna do a song called Think of Others by Palestinian late poet Mahmoud Darwish. I discovered this poem recently, actually, which is funny because I know most of Mahmoud Darwish's writings, but I'm glad I found it because I think this poem encapsulates everything that I believe in life. You're gonna hear it first in Arabic. Patience, because then you're gonna hear it in English. وأنت تعد فطورك فكر بغيرك لا تنس قوت الحمام وأنت تخوض حروبك فكر بغيرك من يطلبون السلام وأنت تسدد فاتورة الماء فكر بغيرك من يرضعون الغمام وأنت تعود إلى بيتك فكر بغيرك لا تنسى شعب الخيام وأنت تنام وتحصي الكواكب فكر بغيرك من لا
تحرر نفسك بالاستعارات فكر بغيرك من فقدوا حقهم في الكلام وأنت تفكر بالآخرين البعيدين فكر بنفسك قل ليتني شمعة في الظلام ليتني شمعة في الظلام. And now it's my privilege to invite to stage two dear friends of mine, Gildor and Noah.
When you prepare your evening meal, think of how the others feel. Don't forget to feed the hungry dog. When you wage your wars with guns, think of all the other ones, those who still believe in peace and love. When you pay for running water, think of someone's son or daughter, nursed by clouds beneath the starry dome. When you return from work tonight, think of others and their plight, those who live in camps and dream of home. As you lay your head to rest, dreaming deep, remember those who have no place to sleep. As you let your words run free, rhyme and tongue in cheek, remember those who lost their very right to speak. And as you think of others far away, think of yourself and say, if only I could be a candle in the dark, I wish I were a candle in the dark. If only I could be, if only I could be a candle in the dark. If only I could be, if only I could be a candle in the dark. Now you're used to it by now that you're gonna sing with us, right? Right? So we're gonna start from the Arabic. ليتني 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 شمعة في الظلام. I'll do the second part. ليتني 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 شمعة في الظلام. And one more time. ليتني ليتني شمعة في الظلام. How about Hebrew? לו הייתי, לו הייתי, לו הייתי נר באפלה. לו הייתי, לו הייתי, לו הייתי, לו הייתי נר באפלה. And one more time. לו הייתי, לו הייתי, לו הייתי נר באפלה. And the English again. If only I could be, if only I could be a candle in the dark. Now you. And for the last time, in any language you choose. ليتني 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 شمعة في الظلام. My candle in the dark. And mine. Mira!
What a beautiful translation into English you did for Mahmoud Darwish. It's amazing.
What
Thank
a
you for
beautiful
that.
everything you do. It's true, isn't it?
Welcome.
Wow, so first of all, so far, so amazing. I was
Having
actually
fun?
in the audience.
We're having fun.
Yeah, excellent.
So the song we're going to sing for you now is our biggest claim to fame, though our mutual claim to fame, though we've been working together now for 18 years.
Yeah.
18 years, maybe not many people know that, from the year 2000. But in 2009, I was offered by the Israeli Committee to represent Israel in the Eurovision Song Contest, which is this huge pop bonanza going on right now, actually, in Portugal. And Israel has already made it to the finals. We're very proud. We also made it to the finals, right? Well, we went together. That's the short of it is we went together. I asked Mira to join me. She graciously agreed. Little did we know what we were getting into, because not only was this the first time that a Palestinian Israeli singer would be joining an Israeli singer representing Israel, it was the first time that Arabic was sung in Eurovision. There were a lot of first times, and it was also the first time that any duo got such objection from all sides. Everybody attacked us. But I have to say, we also got hundreds and hundreds of letters from young Israeli people, young Arab people around the world saying that we were representing their idea of where we should take all of this, and that really there must be another way.
Oh, sister, your eyes tell me all my heart really needs to know. Oh, sister, so dear, you and I are here, raising up a voice that is clear. And when I cry for both of us. My pain has no name, and when I cry to the merciless sky and say, there must be another way. There must be another way. عينيكي بتقول رح يجي يوم كل الخوف يزول. بعينيكي إصرار إنه عنا خيار نكمل هالمسار مهما طال. لأنه ما في عنوان وحيد للأحزان، بنادي للمدى للسما العنيدة. There must be another way. There must be another way. There must be another way. דרך ארוכה נעבור, דרך כה קשה, יחד אל האור, עינקי בטבול, כל החוף יזול. And when I cry for both of us. My pain has no name, and when I cry to the merciless sky and say, there must be another way. הדמעות זולגות זולות לשווא כאב ללא שם. אנחנו מחכות רק ליום שיבוא אחרי. There must be another way. There must be another way. There must be another way. Noah, Mira Awad. Smile without a reason why. For the lighting of
my little flashlight into another hidden corner of the human soul, for creating something, for making the world a better place, for beholding a dance of hearts as music connects people on a higher level. For that, I was willing to sacrifice.
Don't listen to a word they say, 'cause life is beautiful that way.
Thank you. Shalom, everybody. So my name is Achinoam Nini. I was born in Israel in 1969. Mira said I'm saying two, since we're the only two women. When I was a year old, my parents moved to the United States, to the Bronx, New York, and I grew up here in this great city until the age of 17 when I moved back to Israel. I went to religious Jewish school here, Modern Orthodox Yeshiva, SAR Academy, and then Ramaz. And after coming back to Israel for love of a guy, not this guy, another guy, the one that's home with the 3 kids. I served in the Israeli army. I was in the Lakat Tzvait. I sang in the army, and then started my international career together with this guy. We've now been doing this for 28 years. Our career has brought us to 52 countries, and we've had the chance of performing for hundreds of thousands of people. We've been very, very fortunate. I grew up to a Yemenite Israeli family. My family comes from Yemen, as you can see. By the way, when Mira and I were in Eurovision, all the Arab journalists would run to me. And I'm like, she's the Arab. We did a very good job at confusing everybody, which is what we should do, because it's confusing, the situation, isn't it? So I grew up actually as an Arab Jew. And I'm saying that because it's very seldom said that we Jews, Mizrahi Jews, are actually Arab Jews. They're Arab Christians and Arab Muslims, and we're Arab Jews. And I think that's something we should probably emphasize, because it helps us then to build a cultural bridge to the other side, which we should do more often than we do. I grew up with a very narrow narrative. A very Zionist family, very Israeli, very Jewish, our side of the tale. I had no idea, actually, that the Palestinian people even existed and what they wanted until I was in my early 20s. And then after meeting Mira, of course, and meeting so many other incredible Palestinian artists, people, intellectuals, I understood that the picture was much broader than what I could ever imagine. I'd like to start this little segment of our program with a song from our new musical project, which is based on the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. The project is called Letters to Bach. And this first song, which is the Largo from Concerto Number 5 in F minor for piano, beautiful piece of music like everything that Bach wrote, is dedicated to something that I've learned, to many things that I've learned over the years. Mira is responsible for many of them, and also to interactions with courageous women on both sides of the fence. The song is called Look at Me.
Look at me across the border, beyond the wall. Look at me the way you would observe yourself in life's broken mirror. No, I refuse to bow to those who say the world is changing now, and as it changes, there's no way to see the other like a child lost in the loneliest night. Those who'd sentence us to fear and fight. Here is a woman in labor. Her child will soon be born, but who knows if he'll find favor in the eyes age, who dominates the earth and skies. With words of hate, they close the gates of hope. Come, we cannot let them blind us. For every woman in the world knows what it's like when they cripple and bind us. Forever searching and waiting and anticipating, we ask ourselves when, we ask again and again, when will we finally find freedom? Look, there is a crack and it's growing. There is a light and it's glowing through the sorrow, beyond the tears, beyond tomorrow. There must be something more that we can do. I can see you, your beauty shows. Beyond your weakness and pain, it glows. The morning is near now. As the stars disappear, we'll shatter that wall. We'll watch it fall. Together, sister, we can. Come, give me your Thank you. La na na, ya na na, ya na 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 ya 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 na 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 na. שירוק מכסה והמרחב נפתח לשמיים זוג עיניים מביטות מחפשות צוללות בכחול לבן מרחפות באוויר אל הזהב המאיר את שערה רך משאלה אז את עיניי לי תפקח קשת אחת במזרח והלא די בכך משאלה מדרה מה בליבך צוחק נולדה דממה אז את עיניי לי תפקח קשת אחת במזרח והלא די בכך
הלא די בכך. That was for Michelle and Nebo. Flower colored bright, I am strong, I can fight, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Tower, brick and stone, make my way on my own, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know how. If I can fly, can I fly now? Are my wings strong enough to bear the winds out there? Hey, yeah, I don't know. Love colored bright, I'm strong, I can fight, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Tower against stone, make my way on my own, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know what, I don't know how. If I can fly, can I fly now? My world's strong enough to bear the winds out there. Hey, yeah, I don't know. Tell me you're never afraid, and I'm not unafraid. 'Cause I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, good people, what a joy to be here with you tonight. All my friends from NIF, as a kif. Do you know NIF is NIF? No fatigue. We can't afford it. You know what I mean. And seeds of peace planting, watering, nurturing, growing, showing, showing that there must be another way. There must be another way. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the world today? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. The winds of war are blowing, and fear and fear and fear and fear is growing. And evil men are throwing us to a dark abyss. And all I want to do is kiss my children's forehead as they sleep and keep them close to my heart before we fall apart. But then I open my eyes and look around, and suddenly I realize I found so many sparkling eyes, people who still will try, people who give me hope, and that's you. Oh, that's you, and all you do, and all we do. Darkness, edge of night, you are here, I'm in flight. Now I know, now I know, now I know. When I hear you, now I know, now I know, now I know. When I'm near you, now I know, now I know, now I know. Thank you. תודה רבה. Thank you. All right. Before we finish our little section, we're going to do two little segments, two little pieces from the Bach project, Letters to Bach. Short and sweet. One of them is the first one, Invention number 4. Little loving, just a little loving, that is all I need. Yes, indeed. Little loving, just a little loving, and I'll start believing in the Lord above and all those stories about the man, the ark, the dove, Moses bringing those tablets of 10. Love for a woman and man. I don't need all of humanity. All I need is you. You make me feel the world is not a basket case. When through my tears I see your smiling face. A little loving, just a moving passion, and I'll see the world in optimistic fashion. Though it seems that we are losing, I can't connect to what the world is choosing. I'd resurrect a simple way of loving, minus push and shoving. The angels sing a little love, bring it in. A little loving, just a little loving. A love and sorry. Little loving, just a little loving every night and day. The anger melts away, come on. Let's put our weapons down, erase the fear, the frown, and let the sun shine in. Thank you. One. No, baby, no, baby, no, baby, no. Don't you ever say you're gonna go ahead and leave me. No, baby, don't ever go. When I'm with you, I'm elated. All the rest is ooh,
shining like a tube. I keep me sailing to a rope every single day. So baby, so baby, so baby, so what do you say we take a little stroll around the city? Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go. Sip and shake and do the shopping, then go dance until we drop it. Whirl around and wiggle, I can always make a giggle when the two of us are moving on the universe is grooving and the rhythm gets us doing all our guess away. Hey baby, you know it's true. You and me gotta boost it together. Step baby, do what you do. People say you're crazy, disconnected, baby, easy, but they haven't got an ocean of the power in your motion and the sleeper in your motion takes my breath away. Don't walk out that door, I'm saying life's so gilly and we are playing dip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip. You can change your body, it's never really wrong. Short and sweet with a beat, with a bone, make it short, make it long, but tell me that you're staying. Hey baby, you know it's true. You and me gotta boost it together. Step baby, do what you do. People say you're crazy, disconnected, baby, easy, but they haven't got an ocean of the power in your motion and the simple in your potion takes my breath away. You are all my eyes are seeing now that we're about dinner. Bach was smiling when he wrote this little song, so I'll smile and again I will say every single day, will you stay? Oh, baby, or you stay? Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Woohoo! Gildor, the man on the guitar. Thank you. תודה רבה. תודה מכל הלב. תודה, תודה, תודה. תודה. All right. So, as I told you, I came to Israel when I was 16 years old. Almost 17. I knew very little about contemporary Israeli music. And then somebody gave me this album. There were still albums at the time. You know, at the prehistoric times. And albums enabled you to see the face of the singer really big and beautiful. So there I was with this album and this gorgeous face, this long hair, these big brown eyes. And then I put it on, and then there was this voice. Oh my God, I was in love. So I listened to that album about 1,000,000 times, and then every album that this man ever made. And little did I know that life would give me the opportunity to share a stage with the amazing David Blaza!
Wow. Erev Tov, good evening. Seeds for Peace.
Shalom, David.
New Israel Fund. New Israel Fun.
New Israel Fun. Yeah, that's what you mean.
What are we doing?
We're singing a song.
Okay.
Okay, the song we're going to sing together, we're going to sing 2 songs. The second one you're all going to recognize because it's one of David's amazing hits. This one is maybe less known. It was written by an incredible Spanish singer-songwriter by the name of... Actually, that's not even true. I wrote it.
That's why I asked you, what are we singing?
I wrote it, didn't I? Yeah, I wrote it. But I wrote it for an amazing Spanish singer-songwriter by the name of Joaquim Sabina. Because after meeting him, I just was totally blown away. And so I wrote it in English, and he liked it, translated it to Spanish. And then later I heard that David also knows. You want to tell your story about
no, yeah, of course.
Sabina?
I know Joaquin. First of all, this is especially for tonight, so you'll forgive me. I'm going to be reading the lyrics. We never play this song.
That's right.
But with Joaquin, who's an amazing artist in Spain, and everybody loves him for many years, and he's grown to be this persona beyond the songs. I remember visiting him once. He asked me to come and hang out with him, and I was so happy that he asked me that. And he said, if I can come at 3 in the morning. So there's that character. So I go to his house, and I knock on the door, and nobody answers. So I thought maybe I didn't hear it right. So I called him the next morning, and he said, oh, I stepped out for a minute, whatever. So come tonight, 3 in the morning. Same story. The third night when I came, he opened the door before I knocked. And they said, can we do something? Do you have a kippah? Like, el gorro, he said. I said, no. Why would I have one? No, the Jewish, you know. I said, no, but I'll come another night, and I'll bring you one. So I did. You don't know this story.
You told me
I
this.
did.
It's amazing.
So I came the next night, and this time I was convinced. I'm not convinced. I was determined to write a song with him. I didn't care about the kippah, but I had the kippah in my pocket. And when he opened the door, I handed it to him, and I said, "What's with that?" He put it on. He says, "I feel so Jewish." And
That
then,
is so true.
And then he says, "Do you mind taking a walk, a stroll in the streets of Madrid now?" It was by now 4 o'clock in the morning. So we walked around, and it was really somewhat of an enlightenment for him to feel being a Jew in the streets of Madrid with a cane and a hat. And like he looked like an old Jew, and I'm trying to just show him the way. And all I wanted was to write a song with him. Anyway, so.
Well, I didn't
This
write a
is
song
Joaquin
with him,
Sabina.
but I wrote a song for him. And it's true that he admires the Jewish people and
Yeah,
loves you.
He feels Jewish.
You sing it better than he does.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
So now he'll do
Yeah, he's going to do Sabina's part.
It'll be in Spanish.
Yalla.
Just to confuse everybody.
La 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 la. Ya na na ya na na. You are the darkest of nights, where I will wander from alley to alley to alley in search of a bottle of light. You are a woman who chose running half naked from alley to alley to alley in search of a knife and a rose. So, where does our story go? Is there an apple to bite, shiny and red? And if I do, will I fall dead at your feet? So, where does the music flow? Is it the river of Jordan, holy and cold? Will you jump in? Are you as bold as you seem?
Tú, resaca del corazón, contestador que repite, repite, repite llorando su absurdo canción. Tú, banquete del colibrí, peonza que va dando vueltas y vueltas y vueltas por un olivar sefardí. Yo, huérfano y desertor, tatarranieto garrán crepuscular, bufón del mes, vecino del lavapiés. No, fui tu príncipe azul y envejecí en un desván. Peter sin Robin sin silbando un canto viudo.
You, David, you make me feel like a fool. Let's run together from alley to alley to alley, like children escaping the rule.
La favorita de un rey, con su maleta que rueda, que rueda, que rueda por un aeropuerto sin ley.
Yo,
mendigo de estación, bastardo del rey David, yerno del Cid, macho sin fe,
Don Juan rendido a tus pies. So, gently you raise your bow. I see your eyes full of fire. Robin, no hood, bad turns to good. Good's an unfaithful lover. You.
There's a kiss. דויד ברוזה.
This is a song I seldom sing. The other one I never sing. This one I seldom sing. Any questions?
חלפה שנה תמימה מאז היא נעלמה הקטנטונת. יום אחד ראינו אותה ברחוב לבושה מעיל צהוב רצה לה בחור ושרה שיהיה לי טוב.
השאירה רק מכתב פרידה מאם ואב הקטנטונת. היא כתבה אני כבר ילדה גדולה, נמשים כבר נעלמו לי, בובות כבר נשברו לי, נגמר כל כך מהר עבר, כמו אביב נפלא קצר. מה יהיה איתך רחוק מהבית, איפה את ילדה שלי? מה יהיה איתך רחוק מהבית, איפה את ילדה שלי?
חיכינו בסלון, אחר כך בחלום לקטנטונת. בכל מקום חיפשנו וכל אחד חקרנו ושאלנו, בדרכים שוטטנו, מי יודע מי אותה ראה.
מי יודע מדוע עפה עם הרוח הקטנטונת, את כל נעוריי נתתי לה, כל מה שרצתה היא נתתי ולקחה היא, הכל נתן לי אל תתגאי, אהבה מהשמיים. מה יהיה איתך רחוק מהבית, איפה את ילדה שלי? מה יהיה איתך רחוק מהבית, איפה את ילדה שלי? Que va a ser de ti, lejos de casa? Nena, ¿qué va a ser de ti? ¿Qué va a ser de ti, lejos de casa? Nena, ¿qué va a ser de ti?
עברה שנה תמימה מאז היא נעלמה הקטנטונת.
דויד ברוזה.
נורה פילומיני. It's not about proving a point. Yes, we can talk, we can be together. This is about evolution, it's about time, it's about perseverance, it's about understanding, it's about empathy.
Extensions of erotic sounds, continues for the sounds of
I was too busy rearranging my room. Wow. So, I've been aware and associated with Seeds of Peace over the past maybe 20 years. I can't remember when was the first time I played a concert, but it's so wonderful to be able to be here and to celebrate 25 years of such an incredible organization. Yes. Anyway, let's do some music. באנו לך מתחת השמיים, שניים כמו זוג עיניים. יש לנו זמן מתחת השמיים, בינתיים אנו עוד כאן, את ואני, את ואני, את ואני, והמיטה רחבה, לתת אהבה, לילה ויום, לילה ויום, לילה ויום, והחילון לצא, שהוא מתעצר. באנו לכאן, מתחת השמיים, שניים כמו זוג עיניים. יש לנו זמן מתחת השמיים, בינתיים אנו עוד כאן, שנינו אחד, שנינו אחד, שנינו אחד, אחד שלם והכל, שלם וגדול. בואי ניתן, בואי ניתן, בואי ניתן, אני אתן לך לתת, לתת לי לתת לך. באנו לכאן תחת השמיים, שניים כמו זוג עיניים. יש לנו זמן מתחת השמיים, בינתיים אנו כאן, ולמרות הפער, ולמרות הכאב, ולמרות הצער, אני אוהב ואוהב ואוהב. Hey, how about if we sing this together? Try to practice some Hebrew. Try this. Na 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 na. Come on. Na 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 na. You want to do it in Arabic? Do it in Arabic. Come on. Na 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 na. Now a little bit of English. You can do that too. Na 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 na. Come on, everybody. Na 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 na. Yeah. Na. Yes, za za za. יחד באנו לכאן מתחת השמיים, שניים כמו זוג עיניים. יש לנו זמן, יש לנו זמן מתחת השמיים, בינתיים אהבה. באנו לכאן מתחת השמיים, שניים כמו זוג עיניים. יש לנו זמן, יש לנו זמן, זמן. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Thank you so much. So there's so much art going on tonight here on stage. I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, and but there is a song that I wrote when I first arrived in the United States, having no clue, really. Having never been here before, I had no clue. I couldn't measure quite the size and enormity of it all. I just was affected always by the music and by the culture and the film and television and jazz and poetry. But the way for me, when I arrived here, the way I actually suddenly faced America was I thought everything came from New York. That's how it felt like. And after about, exactly. But the problem was that after about a week or so of searching where it all came from, I found that actually nothing came from New York. It all ended up in New York. So here I was in New York, and now what? And I'm looking, I'm thinking, where am I going to meet all these artists and musicians? And they're from all over the place. So I love poetry, and I always write music to poetry. Ever since I started my career in Israel, I worked and still work with Yonatan Geffen, the great poet, and the late Meir Ariel, may he rest in peace, and of course others. And I thought maybe I should find the American equivalent. So I couldn't meet them, but I went to a bookstore that was on, some of you might remember the Gotham Book Mart on 47th Street in the Diamond District. It was a fantastic store. It had just about every poem ever published in this country. So I would sit there for days on end and read these beautiful poems and make notes. Couldn't afford to buy anything really at the time, so I just copied. And the employees were just a little bit puzzled as to who's this guy, long hair with jeans, looks like comes from rock and roll, but he's reading all this poetry. I'm up on ladders and looking into really understanding and falling in love with it. And every once in a while, I'd find a poem I liked and a poet. I'd take it home and I'd write music to it. And one of the first ones that I worked on was a poet by the name of Alberto Rios. And I liked his name. It was Latino. I thought, okay, it would probably have things in English and Spanish. I brought it home, brought these poems home and started writing music. Then I thought I better find out where he is. So I call up his publisher, and he doesn't understand what I want from him. I tell him I'm a rock and roll artist, pop, rock, from Israel. That really threw him off. But it didn't understand what I wanted from him. I said, I want to meet this guy, Alberto Rios. He says, well, I'll give you the number. Just call him. That is easy. So I call Alberto, and I tell Alberto the same story about my writing music to his poetry, and he's telling me, this has got to be a prank. It can't be right. And he's sure that it's some friend of his, Jose or Alberto, and he says, come on, stop it. Just tell me what you want from me. And I said, I want to meet you. He said, okay, come, here's my address. He gives me address. I put down the phone. I look it up. It's many years ago. It's 1985. I'm looking at it. I look at the map, because I've got to open a map and find out. He lives in Nogales, in Arizona, right on the border of Mexico. Curiosity killed the cat. So I really had to go there because I promised I'm coming. I just didn't know how the hell do you get to Arizona, let alone Nogales. Anyhow, we struck a great friendship, and I'd like to do a poem that I wrote music to of his, which is kind of befitting everything in a sense that Seeds of Peace are so much in promotion of. The refrain of it is, not different, we're not different. And this is about fishermen in Chile. The Chilean old boys pull their fish by the fins in the dirt, and they sing about old times and the women they will know. Mariquita and Caras, the girls in their dreams of them, when they'll be men. Not different, not different.
Chileno boys pull their feet by the strings in the dirt and they sing, confusing themselves in the inside tangled jungle of sons and fathers, themselves lost halfway into the years that have been and will be long. But not different, they say, but not different from you. Not different, they say, not different from you. The fish they sell, what they catch, what they get, what they hold in their arms for the day. Sons and fathers of the sea, I won't do it just to walk, you must run. So they sell what they catch, what they hold in their arms for the day. Not different, they say, they're not different, no, from you. Oh, no, not different, they say, not different, no, from you. Oh, not different, no, not different, they say, they're not different, no, not different, no, they're not different, they say, they're not different, no, from you. No somos diferentes. I'm not different, I can know not different, no. They're not different, they say. I no son I can no different, no. Ay, no somos diferentes. Ay, que somos la misma mente. Somos iguales, somos como tú y tú y tú. Ay, venga por tu venir. Los sonim, they cannot different, no. You know, how about if we take this room a little bit and see how we can all harmonize together? How about if this side of the room just try this refrain? Not different, they say, not different from you. Just this side, let's hear it. Not different, come on. Not different, they say, not different. Yeah, go on, see what they're gonna do. Go on, try it. Yeah. Not different, no diferentes, no diferentes, no diferentes from you. I can no, not different, no diferentes. Not different, no diferentes, not different, no diferentes. Go, let's hear the both of them, let's hear them. No diferentes, no diferentes, no diferentes, all right. And right in the middle you go, Lo Shonim, emulate that. Lo Shonim, let's hear that, come on. Lo Shonim, lo. Let's hear the three parts, come on. No diferentes, no diferentes, no diferentes. Ay, no diferentes, no diferentes. Ay, que no somos diferentes. Ay, que somos la misma mente, somos iguales, somos como tú y tú y tú. Como tú, Bani, no son ni no. Not different, not different, they say. Not different, Bravo! Oh boy, beautiful. Wow. This is a house of worship. Worship's the beautiful things in life. Hope, yeah, this kind of evening
gives a lot of hope, I think. To me, it does. Very inspirational. So I'd like to, before I invite the next guest, I'd like to do a song which has been really the start of my career and has stuck with me since that very first day when I became a professional musician, writing this first song. It's called Yeh Tov, Things Will Be Better. Yes, it was back in November of 1977, upon the arrival of Egypt's President Anwar Sadat to Israel for the first time, watching on television in complete euphoria. I was with my friend, new friend at the time, Yonatan Geffen, the poet, and he was feverishly writing this poem, and as we were watching this amazing moment unfold in front of our eyes on television, and we're in Tel Aviv, and he demands that I write music to this poem, thinking that I'll be playing it on stage with him, which I ended up doing, and I've been singing just about every day since, many years. So here it is.
אני מביט מהחלום וזה עושה לי די עצוב. האביב חלף עבר לו, מי יודע אם ישוב. הליצן היה למלך, הנביא נהיה ליצן, ושכחתי את הדרך, אבל אני עוד כאן, ויהיה טוב, כן. לפעמים אני נשבע, אז הלילה, הלילה, איתך אני נשאר. ילדים לובשים כנפיים ועפים אל הצבא, ואחרי שנתיים הם חוזרים ללא תשובה. אנשים חיים במתח, מחפשים סיבה לנשום, ובין שנאה לרצח מדברים על השלום. ויהיה טוב, כן, לפעמים אני נשבע, אז הלילה, הלילה, איתך אני נשאר. כן, שם למעלה בשמיים עננים לומדים לעוף, ואני מביט למעלה ורואה מטוס תפוף, ממשלה של גנרלים מחלקת את הנוף, ושלהם ולשלנו ולא רואים בסוף. הנה בא נשיא מצרים, איך שמחתי לקראתו, פירמידות בעיניים ושלום במיטתו, ואמרנו היי בוא נשלימה ונחיה כמו אחים, ואז הוא אמר קדימה רק תצאו מהשטחים. So just before I wrap up the song, a little anecdote. So it's been 40 years, as I said, and we've gone through a lot. Everybody has, but every year, I speak to him almost on a daily basis, but every year, every so often, and during the year, my friend the poet, Yonatan Geffen, calls me up and dictates a new verse that he insists I should add to the song due to the situation, which I do.
So I sang the first 5 verses. Now imagine, 40 years. These are the original 5 verses now. 40 years. You know how much I have left to sing to you, right? We'll be here till Rosh Hashanah. But anyway, now. There are dozens and dozens of verses, but I'll just conclude the song with this beautiful one that Jonathan wrote upon the signing of peace agreement with Jordan in 1995. I'll translate it for you just so you can follow the words and their beauty and their message. It says that we shall learn to live together under the olive trees. And the children will grow up knowing no more wars, no terror, and no frontiers. And that fresh new grass will grow over the graveyards for love and peace. For after 100 years of war, we haven't and will not lose hope. עוד נלמד לחיות ביחד. חורשות עצי זיתים. ילדים יחיו בלי פחד, בלי גבולות, בלי מקלטים. על כפרים יפרח העשב לשלום. התקווה יהיה טוב, כן, לפעמים אני נשבע, אז הלילה, הלילה, איתך אני יום חדש. יהיה טוב. All right. Oh my. Thank you. This is just the middle of the show, you know. I want to welcome on stage the one and only Mira Awad, please.
Yeah.
What? You good?
Love you. Good evening. Again.
Well, we're going to sing a song that I wrote while working in East Jerusalem, as I've been doing for the past 20 years, working, writing music, recording, making friends, having a lot of kebab, a lot of cafe, a lot of food and wine, and making really a lot of friends. And Mira joined me in the studio when we recorded East Jerusalem, West Jerusalem, this wonderful album. which we also documented. And it's a song, I don't normally write the lyrics to my songs. I take other people's stories, as I've said before, but in this instant, I made a trip, a very rare trip to Ramallah with my Palestinian friend Saeed, and on the way back, he wanted to confuse me. I didn't know if we're going east, west, north, south, and suddenly I see lights, and I'm sure that it's Bethlehem or maybe Nablus. I have no idea where we are. And I ask him what it is. He says, that's Tel Aviv. And it's right there. So quickly I jotted down, I wrote this inspirational moment. I wrote this song, Ramallah Tel Aviv. And I thought of it as a duet. The Ramallah Tel Aviv, cities of duet, I think. And Mira and I recorded it. It goes like this.
I live my life down by the shore. I take my walks, make love and war. Upon the hill they live to love. The romance lingers up above. Eastern winds bring lustful scents, mixed with tears of innocence. Years of war and difference, love and hate and self-defense. Extensions of erotic cells. Continuous flow, the sounds of bands. The do's and don'ts, the right to be, the need to give. Oh, that's where Ramallah is, Tel Aviv. As I stand up on the hill, I recognize now how it feels to see the lights that shine so bright, inviting me yet out of sight. Reality and fantasy, so close and yet so far it seems. Or will we see the day come soon, so we can live in harmony? Extensions of erotic cells. Continuous flow, the sounds of bands. The do's and don'ts, the right to be, the need to give. Oh, that's where Ramallah is, Tel Aviv. Show them something, come on. Extensions of erotic cells. Continuous flow, the sounds of bands. The do's and don'ts, the right to be, the need to give. Oh, that's where Ramallah is, Tel Aviv. Oh, that's where Ramallah is, Tel Aviv. Oh, that's where Ramallah is, Tel Aviv.
David Barossa.
Eat Howard.
I'll be back.
He'll be back.
And I think this march will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, demonstrations for freedom and human dignity ever held in the United States.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Change took place in us when we were at the March on Washington in 1963, because we realized that ordinary people, if they gathered together with their hearts intent upon doing something, they could have a remarkable power that could really inspire people and initiate a commitment to stay with a cause on a lifelong basis.
If I had
So if you don't protect justice, take this for a warning, it will erode.
Right.
If we don't protect freedom, it will erode. And what is the answer? In the song, the love between my brothers and my sisters.
Love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing that the whole world listens to.
Music speaks louder than words when you sing. People understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Yarrow.
Well, I've been listening in the audience. Could you just let go? Because if we're both going across purposes, it's going to be crazy. Thank you. And, you know, I wrote this song when I was on that, okay, thank you, my brother. I wrote this song when I was on that, oh my goodness, sorry. When I was in the Negev desert with Seeds of Peace, and I got a call from Daniel Moses, and it was terrific, but I didn't know what to expect. And I went there, and just the feeling of everybody together was so extraordinary that I was seeing something that I knew was historic, and I never would have written this song had I not been there and had Scenes of Peace not thought to commit themselves in this way to bring people together who were artists, singers, and dancers and painters. And I was out there with you listening a little bit back and forth, but I always want to hear what you're hearing, so when I get on stage, my heart is in sync with you. And some of the words that struck me tonight, when there was a conversation, which was the subject of this song, about the building of walls between people and the inability of people to connect if they're not allowed to connect. And I realized that there is a physical wall that was built right there, and there is a similar kind of a wall right in our own country right now. And that the path, as was said on the stage so beautifully, was that if we have a path to just be able to be with each other and talk to each other and humanize each other, we don't have to agree, we just have to embrace. So I wrote this song. I've never sung it in public before, but now this is not public anymore. You're my therapist, and I'm telling you this. Why do I fear you? Why do I hate you? Why do I love you? Why? What if I were to tell you my story? What if I were to tell you my fears? What if I were to open my heart
if I were to show you my tears? Why did I build a wall to prevent you from loving or knowing or touching my soul? Why didn't I trust you to be real and human and let trust and friendship and healing unfold? The blood of our fathers, the blood of our mothers is choking our future. We drown in our past. The courage to cut off the chains that have bound us. Must we kill each other to feel free at last? Can you forgive me? Can I forgive you? Will we ever stop fighting and sing the same song? Can you forgive me? Can I forgive you? Can we meet in the field beyond right and wrong? Can we ever stop fighting and sing the same song? How I have hurt you, how I have abused you and denied all the suffering that I have caused you. I stand here before you, ashamed I implore you, let's build life anew, bring this hate to an end, find the trust in our hearts to start over again. Can you forgive me? Can I forgive you? Can we ever stop fighting and sing the same song? Can you forgive me? Can I forgive you? Can we meet in the field beyond right and wrong? Can we ever stop fighting, sing the same song? Why do I fear you? Why do I hate you? Why do I love you? Why? Thank you. Thank you. You know, I didn't write this alone. I was surrounded by Mika Hendler, and I never would have thought of that room. Now you can take it from me. I'm out of my depth. Ah. Okay. Now, and that was, so, you know, if you say, when you're going to see the attribution, you're going to see that it's myself, but it's the Seeds of Peace, too, that inspired it and contributed to it. And Mira Awad did a film of it with a dancer that was there singing to it. I mean, the dancer was dancing. She was actually singing to it. I'm the one that dances. Now, I want to call my great friend. I'm reminded as I'm before you how this journey for me started, where I became Jewish. You may think that it started at my birth, but I was Jewish indeed, but not Jewish in the sense that I became. My mother was abominated all religion. She had the odd notion that religion sometimes cause mild controversy or even worse. She came from Russia when, in 1903, she was very characteristic of the people who came in this way. So I grew up in ethical culture. You know, Algernon Black was there. They had a rabbi on the staff. But then she married someone who was the executive director of Central Synagogue. And he was anything but appalled. He was appalled. He was anything but pleased. So I got confirmed. But that didn't make me Jewish. I was already Jewish because she was already Jewish, even though she wasn't religious. So then they had a gathering here in New York. I was just talking about it. It's called the Passover Peace Celebration, where there was a gathering it was at the time of the first Land for Peace effort, when that premise was first presented. And I was asked to sing there. David Dinkins was the Manhattan Borough president, and I said yes. I mean, all of my progressive people there, you know, yeah, of course, you know. And then I started getting phone calls at the house. And when the children would answer, the voice would say, if your father appears at this gathering, we will cut off his head. And then they hung up. I mean, I've got kids 8 and 9 years old, you know. We had a family conference, and I said, look, these are cowards. These are the same kinds of cowards that we encounter in the civil rights movement. But if you don't want me to go, if it'll give you nightmares, they said, go, Dad. They both said. So I did, and I wasn't killed. So, but I said to myself, yeah, thank you. So I said, look, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm getting death threats, and I don't know what's going on there. And this is really stupid. I mean, this has got to be a serious reality. I went over there. It was the height of the Intifada with the 2 children. I went to Israel, to Jordan. We went to Syria. We went to the West Bank and Gaza. We were in a hospital with a man keening over his son who was coming out of a mosque, and there was a bullet in his head. And what could we do? We sang. These kids were very young to do that. And I became Jewish. I said, not in my name. I was at a house demolition. I was saying no to that, and I was saying yes. At that time, the women of the wall and the women in black, it was very, very divided, but unbalanced, people had division. So I come here now with you to reminisce about that a moment and tell you that the world is in a terrible place, but it is precisely here with the efforts of Seeds of Peace and the musicians that the possibility of people being together in this way, and you don't agree, you should not agree, don't agree, but love each other, respect each other, embrace each other here, and know that you have good souls and good hearts. And I do, and I embrace you too. So now I've spoken far too long. I didn't intend to tell that story, but you're my therapist, so you understand. I'm going to call David Broza on, so we're going to do a song together. Please welcome back to the stage. Yes, Maestro. I hate the term. I don't want to say he killed it. I say he lived it, right? He lived it.
Now we're going to live it.
Right. So this is a song written by Steve Seskin and Alan Shamblin, that goes to the heart of what we really need to do in Israel and in the United States. We share, alas, some very painful things in common. And how are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? We're going to get there by being compelled to bind our hearts together. And music is one of those ways that's going to do it. And this is a song that goes right to the heart of what that's about. You need to bring my guitar in. It's going to be the lead guitar. I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call the geek, a little girl who never smiles, 'cause I got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep.
אני הילד שקוראים לו כלום, הכל בגלל המשקפיים. אני פוחדת לחיים בגלל הגשם בשיניים, וככה אני נרדם כל לילה עם דמעות בעיניים.
Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. David, will you do that chorus in Hebrew? It will be so beautiful.
אל תדאגו לי אף פעם, ואל תכאיבו לעולם, הרי כולנו בני אדם, ואף אחד אינו מושלם. אל תדאגו.
Now we're going to do that in both languages simultaneously, and you can sing along. Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect words.
אל תדאגו.
I'm the beggar on the corner. You passed me on the street. I couldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't notice that our eyes never meet. Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind, hey, aren't we all? I'm black, I'm white, and I'm brown. I'm Jewish, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Buddhist. I was born in Sarajevo, I was born in Kosovo, born in Northern Ireland, born in Africa, Israeli. I'm Palestinian. I'm very wealthy. I'm very poor. Don't laugh at me. Please be kind to me. Please be my friend. Please accept me just the way I am. No one should be left out. We all should be included. Someday we'll all have perfect wings, but we're not perfect now. So don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. No, do it in the Hebrew.
Resetting.
אל תדאגו לי אף פעם, ואל תכאיבו לעולם, הרי כולנו בני אדם, ואף אחד אינו מושלם. אל תדאגו.
And now in both languages to end up English and Hebrew. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In your eyes, we're all the same. And we'll all have perfect wills. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. Mira, Noah.
Yeah.
Noah. Oh, I was listening to the two of you sing. Oh my God. It's, you know, what you and Daniel have done, all of you, it's quite a night. There are terrible, terrible times, but this is quite a night.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, this is a song you've never heard. It's a very scruffy kid who just wrote this song. I'm standing there with Noel Paul Stuckey and Mary Travers. And we're going to go to the March on Washington, and we're going to sing this song. This guy isn't well known, and he really, we had a party for him after his first concert at Steinway Hall or Town Hall, whatever. And he didn't want the party. And then he said at the end, yeah, I want the party. And then we went to my mother's apartment, which is where I was staying, and she found the scruffiest kid. And she said, my son didn't tell me about the party. Could you go to the corner and get some ice? And he said, are you married, Mrs. Yarrow? She said, why no? Why do you ask? You'll guess who that person is in a moment. Bring my guitar up, please. Once again now, yes, and how many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man.
كم من محيط سيعبر الحمام قبل أن ينام في الرمال.
וכמה עצים ירוקים נשרפו בגלל מלחמות וכבוד.
Softly now. The answer, very softly,
is blowing. The answer is blowing.
I mean, softly now, you sing it. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing. Okay, I want to just hear the audience sing it. Sing it to us, the answer. The answer, good, is blowing. Okay, now we're going to sing it with you very softly. The answer, my friend, you sing too, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
كم من سنين ستصمد الجبال قبل أن تذيبها البحار. How many years can some people exist before they're out to be free?
כן כמה שנים נהיה פה סגורים לפני שלחופש נצא.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Now you just sing it to us, the answer, my friend. The answer. The answer is
כמה חומות עוד צריך להפיל עד שיגיע השלום. كم من أذن يحتاج الإنسان كي يسمع صراخ الأبرياء.
How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died together? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
audience, you sing it. The a cappella now, no instruments, together all of us.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing
No. Wait. Well, I've still got a hammer, and I've still got a bell, and we've still got a song to sing all over this land. It's still the hammer of justice. It's still of freedom. It's still a song about love. All over this land.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this
If I had a bell, if I had a bell, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land, all over this land, I'd ring it out of danger, I'd ring it out of warning, I'd ring it out of love between the brothers and the sisters. No, if I had a song softly,
If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out the danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this
well, I got a hammer,
and I got a bell, I got a bell,
and I got a song to sing all over this land.
all over this land.
It's a hammer of freedom, song about love between the brothers and the sisters. All over this land, hammer of justice. It's the bell of freedom, song about the love between the brothers and the sisters. All over this
Hey, Millie. Come up front, come. Come, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Look for the penny, look for the penny.
Thanks so much. Oh. Thank you to Paolo and Daniel Reese on the sound. Paolo Pilares and Daniel Reese. Thanks, Don, for the lighting. T Productions, Streaker Center, and of course, Seeds of Peace, and the new Israel Fund. Thank you, Gadi Levy, for having us here, yes. And Jake and Dave for helping us out. Thank you, good night.